think there are like a lot of different reasons why you would want to find a community in IT or in the development world in general. I think I would find it hard to say, oh, this is like the most important community that you should actually kind of like join, because I feel it really depends what you need, right? Like I myself, for example, found it very beneficial to be part of a lot of like different communities, especially here in Berlin. I had a lot of great experiences with, for example, meetup groups. For a very long time, I've been part of the Open Tech School Berlin, which is like an organization helping people to learn more about technology in free workshops and co-learning groups. And I found this, especially in the beginning when I started to work like as a web developer, like very, very helpful for me to just like get started, but also have the support of other peers to get free mentoring, so to speak, which was like really nice. And also have the feeling that there's some kind of like sense of accountability for me to actually show up regularly and also learn more on my own. I also think like apart from this, like even if you don't have like a local group where you really feel like, oh, this is like a place where I can actually go to, I can actually see people in real life. I believe there's also like a great benefit to find communities online. You might already work with like different frameworks or technologies where you know there are like online communities, maybe like Discord channels, Slack channels, boards, or kind of like other kind of like means of communicating like with people in the group, like online. And I believe this can also be very great for you to get in contact with other people, to actually network, also get like new ideas and projects, and maybe even get involved like in contributing to open source. Google is your friend as always. Kind of like do a quick search. I can imagine if you live in a town or a city, there are probably already local community groups that you can just like join. And even if you find that there isn't something yet, or maybe there were groups, but they're kind of like inactive, sometimes it can even just like help to ping someone and kind of like say, hey, is this still happening? And just like show some interest. Like at least like this was my experience in the past. This oftentimes also works. But if you, for example, find for yourself, oh, like this is actually not my need. I don't need to see people like in person, or I literally just like need some regular mentorship or like some advice, then it might also be valuable to just like take a look at other non-local kind of communities, maybe like online communities that are not even like in your home country, but somewhere else, and that actually provide you with the support that you're looking for. The good thing is, at least in Berlin, there's a very vibrant meetup community. So probably if you just like jump on meetup.com, you find a lot of like things like probably currently like in COVID times, it's maybe like a little more limited, like, but once kind of like things settle again, you should be able to find like a lot of like different meetup groups, sometimes maybe even like communities that are very specific for a certain kind of like field you want to develop in, or a certain technology that you want to use. And I had the experience, I found a lot of like different communities just like from there. Open Tech School Berlin is also really great, especially great for beginners or junior people to get started, to find like co-learning groups, meetups, workshops as well. Everything for free, which is like also awesome, especially if you're starting out. You might not have like the budget to kind of like say, oh, I'm just like gonna jump in a coding bootcamp and just like throw a couple of like thousands on this. Like you actually want to get started with something and feel that you can actually prepare like maybe for your first job. And I think like these three workshops and meetups are a great opportunity for this. You might also want to check out, especially if you're just starting out, like literally you're kind of like thinking, oh, I'm a product manager and I want to start coding and I actually don't know where to actually start and meet like other people. I highly recommend the group Code Curious, which is the kind of like successor of Rails Girls Berlin. And they actually offer regular free workshops, like 2-day workshops to get people started with programming. To learn how to actually use a terminal, how to use your computer to actually develop like your first web application. And these are also really great. But even beyond these beginner workshops, they also offer more advanced workshops. Like if you're, for example, interested in JavaScript testing specifically, they also have like offers for this. Being part of an open source community and actually be like an active member of this, like by not only contributing, but also attending like events and conferences, getting to know people as well in the community. Also finding mentors in the community has been maybe one of the most significant contributions to my life. I would literally say, like, because it's not only this kind of like feeling of, oh, I can actually get like mentorship from there, and this helps me with my technical expertise, and this in hindsight also helps me with my career and finding like jobs. It's like so much more. It's like also like the networking aspect that you actually get like access to opportunities that you might never have had if you wouldn't have been part of this community. It actually gave me like a lot of like freedom, first of all, to really try out different things, to also get like into public speaking, which I never did before I actually got into open source, right? So, but then it's also having the sense of that you actually belong somewhere, like outside of your 9 to 5, if this makes sense, right? I also believe there's a great benefit for you to find like other peers that might kind of like find similar challenges in their work as you do. Specifically if you are, for example, part of an underrepresented group in IT, you might find a lot of benefit, for example, if you're like a woman in tech. You find like other women in tech communities where you can actually exchange ideas on how to kind of like further yourself, and also just like to have the support and actually find other people that you might not be able to meet in your day-to-day life. Really is a game changer. Yeah. There are a lot of like benefits to different communities, and maybe it really depends like on finding out for yourself what is like your strongest need right now. Yeah.